Hello everybody, my name is Neil and I'm the founder of my website, which is IELTSWRITING.com. And today we will be analyzing the informal letter taken from Cambridge Book 15. Now let's read and analyze these tasks in detail. A friend of yours is thinking about applying for the same course that you did at university. He or she has asked for your advice about studying this subject. Write a letter to your friend. In your letter, give the details of the course that you took at the university, explain why you recommend the university, and give some advice about how to apply. So make sure to address each aspect of the task given. So for example, in the first part, I may indicate criminal psychology because give the details of the course, what kind of course, criminal psychology. Next, explain why you recommend the university. I might write something like to study the body language of delinquents, which means criminal people, such as fear, excitement, anger, and sadness. And give some advice about how to apply. I may give two kinds of advice. I might say that he should apply for this course straight away, which means immediately. And secondly, he should watch the great TV series Lie to Me. Okay, and then I'll explain why it is important. Now, we are writing an informal letter because we're writing a letter to our friend. Therefore, it's possible to use contractions such as I am, you've got, and so forth. And also, we can use colloquial phrases such as spoken English, where we don't want to sound very sophisticated, where we want to sound more original because this is our friend. Now, how can we start our informal letter? We can write something, Dear John, comma, it's great that you've decided to study the same course as I did back at the university, which is criminal psychology. Okay, here we go. Now, it's great. So here, this is my friend, and I want to encourage him by writing it's great instead of writing it is great. That you've decided, I'm using the present perfect here, which means that you have already decided to study the same course as I did back at the university, which is criminal psychology. Here I'm trying to be very specific, and I'm giving the specific name of this course, which is criminal psychology. Here, this is my personal comment, and therefore it's important to use a comma here. Okay, and this part is called a non-defining relative clause. So remember this. Next, I took this course for 2 years. Studying it both theoretically and practically. So here I took because I took this course in the past. Took this course for 2 years and then studying it how both theoretically and practically. Okay, next. That's why I do recommend this awesome course to you for the following reasons. Okay, now as we are writing an informal letter, we can just write that's why. Okay, I do recommend. Here, do means I really recommend. Awesome means excellent for the following reasons. And I'm going to provide the first reason, the second reason, and so forth. Now, let's just look at our plan carefully. So give the details of the course you took at the university. We've already described it in detail. Now explain why you recommend the university. So I'm going to describe this part here in the second body paragraph. Okay, you'll have the chance to study the body language of delinquents thanks to the lectures given by super smart academics and your personal interactions with prisoners in the local correctional facility. Okay, so you'll have the chance, because he's not studying there, but if he studies, then he will have in the future, you'll have the chance. So here we're talking about the specific chance, so the chance to study, and then the body language of. We know what kind of body language we're talking about, and therefore it's important to use the definite article the here. So the body language of delinquents, which means criminal people, thanks to the lectures. We know what kind of lectures we're talking about, given by super smart academics. Academics here means professors, teachers, tutors, and so forth. And your personal interactions, which means conversations with prisoners, were in the local correctional facility, which basically means in prison. Next, I was all into the course, memorizing heaps of facial expressions associated with fear, excitement, anger, and sadness. Okay, so I was all into means I really, really liked something. The course memorizing heaps of here means a lot of facial expressions. The word facial comes from the word face. Associated with here means linked to, connected with fear, excitement, anger, and sadness. Next, then I closely observed all of these features when talking to hardcore delinquents. Okay. I closely here means carefully. Observed means analyzed and watched. Okay. All of these features, in this case, features means fear, excitement, anger, and sadness. When talking, so remember, when talking, when or watching to hardcore delinquents. Hardcore means that it's very difficult for them to change their behavior. They have always been extremely bad, so hardcore delinquents. Next, the knowledge and experience I got helped me to become a prison shrink, helping inmates to get back on the right track. So we know what kind of knowledge we're talking about. So the knowledge and experience which I got, okay, or which I received, therefore the knowledge. Okay, helped me to become a prison shrink. Shrink here means psychologist. Helping inmates, here inmates means prisoners. To get back on the right track here means to recover, to become good people. Okay, now let's move on. Let's just look at our plan one more time. So we've already analyzed this part. We've got one more. Give some advice about how to apply. Okay, so let's do it. If I were you, I'd apply for this course straight away because there are lots of other applicants applying for it. Okay, so I want to give my advice to my friend, therefore I'm using the second conditional here. If I were you, I would apply. So the idea is I'm not him, and therefore I can't apply, but if I were him, I would do it. Straight away here means immediately, right now, because there are lots of applicants applying for it. Next. Now let's just let's get to the next advice. So something like, why don't you watch the great TV series Lie to Me which will kind of give you a general picture of criminal psychology. Okay, sorry. Yep, psychology. Now, this is my second piece of advice, and therefore I'm using a question here. So why don't you go? Why don't you play? Why don't you apply for this job? So why don't you watch the great TV series? So here we know what kind of series we're talking about, therefore it's important to use the definite article the here, and then which will kind of give you a general picture of criminal psychology. Okay, so next, we can just write one more sentence here. You can refer to some movie episodes during your interview to impress your interviewees. Okay, so my friend might want to know why he needs to watch this TV series, and that's the answer, because you can refer to some movie episodes during your interview to impress your interviewees. An interviewee is somebody who asks you a lot of questions during a job interview, for example. Okay, next. If you've got other questions, feel free to ask me. So here I'm I'm using a contraction here again, if you've got, which means if you have got. And remember, if it's a formal letter, you want to write if you have, but if it's informal, if you've got. Feel free here means don't hesitate. Okay, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask me. Next, you are on the right track, mate. In this case, you're on the right track means you're doing well. It's great that you have decided to study this course. It's great that you have asked me some questions. Okay, so you are on the right track. Good on you. Okay, next, cheers. And then Neil. Okay, so you can write cheers or take care. If you are in Great Britain, New Zealand, or Australia, you want to write cheers. But if you are in the US, in the United States of America, you want to write take care, and then you can write your first name, for example, Neil. Okay, I hope you've learned how to write an informal letter. You've learned how to use contractions. You've learned how to use some colloquial phrases. Okay, and you've learned how to follow your plan, how to create and follow your plan. If you want to use the speaking or correction services on my website, you can visit it, IELTSWRITING.com. Okay, also I can help you to prepare for your examination by giving you online private lessons. Okay. Also, you can purchase advanced video courses to prepare for your upcoming IELTS exam. Thank you very much for watching and analyzing this video lesson.